All right, y'all, let's talk about how you can get access to unlimited amounts of capital for your business. And to be honest, I know this is probably not what you're going to want to hear because everyone wants to rush this process. Everyone wants money in their bank account. They want to use it towards their business, but you can't rush this process. And what I'm going to say is you need to have the foundations of your personal credit set up properly. What does that mean? We're going to talk about what that means, but you need to have your personal credit set up properly because when it comes down to it, even though you're applying for business cards and business lending, they're still going to pull your personal credit. Your reputation on the personal credit side matters, and it matters a lot in terms of approvals, in terms of relationships, and in terms of the credit limits that you might be looking for or the amounts of capital that you might be looking for. So you need to focus on your personal credit. And like I said, you can't rush this process. Some people, and the reason why I'm talking about this is I talk to a lot of people who want to rush this process. They want capital right away. They want money for their business. When it comes down to it, when you don't have your personal credit set up, you still have 6 to 9 months putting in some work and building the relationships and building up your personal credit to be able to have the ability to access the right amount of capital. If you move too fast, you're going to basically waste those inquiries, waste those cards and those applications to get extremely low limits that aren't necessarily going to benefit your business. Let's talk about it. Initially, if you don't have that many credit cards, or maybe you have a couple and there's small limits under $5,000, you want to make sure and go to banks with the cards that you have and see if you can increase those personal credit limits. A lot of banks like Chase, American Express, Navy Federal, Capital One, and Discover are going to be able to allow you to soft pull credit limit increase. Some of those banks, I highly recommend that you do it within the app because sometimes when you call, they're going to say it's going to be a hard pull. You always want to confirm before you do a credit limit increase that it is going to be a soft pull because then it won't affect your credit and it's an easy way to increase your credit limits. Why do we want to increase our credit limits? Because it's first of all, it's going to lower our utilization. Utilization is a massive piece that goes into our credit report and our score, and it's going to build those limits up higher for future personal approvals because you're going to have to add personal credit cards that are going to be advantageous to not only your business funding or your business capital, but building relationships and increasing those limits. So what it comes down to is we want to increase those limits. We want to increase those comparable limits. And why do we want comparable limits on the personal side? Because they're still going to pull your personal credit. So they're going to look at the credit limits that you have on your personal side and they're going to say, hey, you only have $5,000 on the personal side. You're not showing us that you have a good reputation of handling lots of money. So they're going to give you a very similar amount of capital on the business side. What we want is we want approvals $15, $25, $50, $70,000. We want those types of approvals because that can actually benefit our business. When it comes to building up your personal credit and your personal credit limits, you want to make sure that your personal credit limits are higher. I say 30, 50, $100,000. Around that, you want to have total credit limits like that. And that's going to help your utilization out so much because if you do spend a lot on the personal side, your utilization is going to be low. If you're under 10% during approvals or application time, that's going to help you out a lot. So we want to increase our personal credit limits. Because of that, because if you end up adding personal credit cards, your credit age is going to go down. And if you really haven't had credit cards for that long, then you're also going to want to increase your credit age. And if you don't have that much credit history built up, you're going to want to add yourself as an authorized user. Why? Adding yourself as an authorized user is going to increase your credit age. So you want to make sure that you find people that you trust, likely family members, parents, grandparents, cousins, uncles, people who have good, strong payment history, no derogatories on their accounts. They have cards that are typically higher limits or at least have longer age time. 5, 10 plus years on that is going to be great. What happens with that is when you add yourself as an authorized user, then their history is going to report on your account. So it's going to improve your credit age. It's also going to improve some comparable limits for future approvals. Now, when it comes down to that, when we start actually applying new personal credit cards, this is that 6 to 9 months I'm talking about because we want to add those relationships. We also want to increase our credit limits because the credit limit increases likely aren't going to get us in a position to still go for funding and capital on the business side. We want to choose specific credit cards on the personal side that give us those relationships that allow us to do that. Because anytime you are going for business capital, if you can have some type of personal relationship and or banking relationship with them, it's going to help with your approvals and with the limits and capital that they are going to provide you. So during that time, we're adding cards that are going to be advantageous to us in the future when we want to get capital. Then those cards are also going to give us higher limits and more limits that are comparable when they pull our personal credit. That is the next piece. When you start adding cards, making sure that you're choosing the right banks, you're building the right relationships, and you're getting the right amount of credit limits. And this is why we want to focus on building our personal credit foundation. Now, outside of that, it could be really helpful to add installment loans or different loans in your account. So if you do not have that many loans or installment loans, car loans, mortgages, personal loans, things like that, then Navy Federal is a great place to go for the pledge loan or the savings secured loan. That can be really helpful. So if you're completely new to your journey or young in your journey and you want to add different loans, that helps with your credit mix. So this allows the banks to see, hey, you have multiple different types of lending products, not just revolving credit lines. You have different products, a different type of credit mix. That will be helpful. And that will also help you with possibly getting some higher limit cards with Navy Federal or with the bank as well, because you have another product with them. When it comes down to it, you do not want to rush the process because you don't want to apply to cards, get low limits, get low amounts of capital that won't be actually advantageous to your business. Once you set up your personal credit, once you have the foundation built, this is where the house of high limits begins. This is where you can get unlimited amounts of capital because you have a strong foundation. Your reputation is strong. You can go to a lot of banks, and all you have to do is build relationships with specific banks that may be in your region or in your area that can also be helpful to you. We want higher limits. We want low utilization. Of course, we want no derogatories or missed payments on our personal credit report. And if we can add installment loans and improve our credit age, it's going to help you out exponentially. Now, if this capital allows you to grow your business, scale your business, hire, invest in marketing, invest in coaches, and you start having some cash flow coming in there, then that is where, once you have cash flow coming into your business, you've been able to build your business, that is where you can get exponential amounts of funding. But from the beginning, you really want to focus on your personal credit. So do not rush the process. That is the foundation. I have tons of videos talking about personal credit, what it means, how you should look at it, what are some key requirements and guidelines that you should have on it. So you can check that out. I believe I do have a playlist on personal credit as well where you can check that out. That is key important pieces. That's how you get access to capital. That is how you get unlimited amounts of funding for your business so you can scale and grow. And if you are a business owner yourself, you're starting a business or growing your business and you want more customized one-on-one help, more consultation pieces, putting the pieces into place, getting in with the right banks, getting the right approvals and the right amounts of capital, then feel free to reach out to me and schedule a call. I'm happy to help you out and see if it makes sense for us to work together. And if you guys are completely new or you enjoy anything personal credit, business credit, and travel hacking, because I love travel hacking, you can join my free school community, just the community where you guys can all connect and learn and see a bunch of different data points and banking options for you outside of what I'm able to put on YouTube. So, and there's some crazy stuff that you can do, especially if you're a business owner and you're spending a lot. Putting the right pieces into place, like the right cards into the right expenses in your business, can get you to earn tons of different travel rewards where you can travel essentially for free and in luxury. As always, hit the like and subscribe button. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to keep bringing the value. I hope you guys got value out of this video and this helps you set up plans for when you want to get capital for your business. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you being here. Subscribe. Peace.